Welcome to Nature Academy. This is Dr. Sheikh Ahmed. Today's lecture is about phase and group velocity of matter waves. So, how to describe a particle within the context of quantum mechanics? So, this is the question here. What do you mean by a quantum mechanical particle? According to classical mechanics, a particle can be described by its position and its velocity. So, in classical physics, a particle is well localized in space. Its position and velocity can be measured simultaneously to an arbitrary precision. Quantum mechanics describes a material particle by a wave function. Quantum mechanics describes a material particle by a wave function. What do you mean by wave function? I'll come to that point later. So, wave function corresponding to the matter wave associated. If you take any moving particle, any massive particle moving with velocity v, and as I assume that the mass of the particle is m, then this particle will generate a matter wave. So that is the de Broglie hypothesis, right? And the wavelength of the matter wave is given by h by mv. So any moving particle moving with some velocity will generate so many number of waves. These matter waves superimpose with each other, sometimes constructive interference, sometimes they undergo destructive interference. Next, a localized wave function is called a wave packet. So, a wave packet consists of a group of waves of slightly different wavelengths with phases and amplitudes so chosen that they interfere constructively over a small region of space and destructively elsewhere. That means let us take a particle here, any massive particle. It is moving with a velocity, then it will generate many matter waves. So all these matter waves have different wavelengths and are different phases. These matter waves superimpose in such a way that you will get constructive interference in one region and destructive interference in other region. So at the destructive interference, the amplitude will be 0. At the constructive interference, the amplitude will be maximum, like this. Such type of superposition of waves will result in a wave packet. Now I can call this as a wave packet. I can call this as a wave packet, and this is another wave packet. Okay, so what is a wave packet? A wave packet is nothing but a group of waves with slightly different wavelengths. So these waves undergo interference over a region, sometimes constructive interference and sometimes destructive interference. Whenever the waves undergo some constructive interference, we will get maximum amplitude, and when the waves undergo destructive interference, we will get minimum amplitude. I can say the amplitude is 0. Wave packet is used to describe a particle quantum mechanically. So this is the representation of a wave packet. Inside I have a wave, and that wave is represented with solid line, and this is a wave, and this wave moves with a velocity, and that velocity is known as phase velocity. Individual waves moves with a velocity known as phase velocity. So you can call it as phase velocity or wave velocity also. Individual waves have their own velocity known as phase velocity or wave velocity. The superposition of waves will result in a wave packet. So the wave packet is represented with a dotted line, and this wave packet moves with a velocity which is represented Vg, and this Vg is known as group velocity. For example, consider two such waves traveling along x direction. So this is my x-axis, and this is one wave, and let me write this is psi1 of x comma t, where psi is the wave function, and I will take another wave with same amplitude but different phase. Okay, so this is assume that psi2 of x comma t. When the two waves undergo superposition, then according to principle of superposition, the resultant wave psi of x comma t will be equal to psi 1 of x comma t plus psi 2 of x comma t, right? So this is the superposition principle. The first one is a sin omega t minus kx, and the second equation with slightly different in frequency, that is omega plus d omega and k plus dk. When the two waves superimpose each other, we will get a wave packet which moves with the group velocity. So according to the principle of superposition, so I can write psi of xt is equal to psi 1 of xt plus psi 2 xt. Substitute all these values here. So first one is a sin omega t minus kx plus second one is also a sin. So I will take a common here, and this is a sin omega plus d omega t minus k plus dk into x. So apply the formula sin a plus sin b. Sin a plus sin b is equals to 2 cos of a minus b by 2 into sin of a plus b by 2. I'll write here sin a plus sin b is equals to 2 cos of a minus b by 2 into sin of a plus b divided by 2. So this is the trigonometric formula. So use the same formula here. This is like sin a and this is like sin b. You will get 2a cos of a minus b by 2 into sin of a plus b by 2. After a little bit calculation, you will get 2a cos d omega by 2 into t minus dk by 2 into x into sin of omega plus d omega by 2 into t minus k plus dk by 2 into x. So this is the expression. So we got psi of x comma t is equals to 2a cos of d omega by 2 minus dk by 2 into x into sin of omega plus d omega by 2 into t minus k plus dk by 2 into x. Since d omega is changing angular frequency and dk is changing wave number, they are very small. dk and d omega and dk are very small, so I can ignore d omega by 2 and dk by 2 from this expression. Therefore I can write it as 2a cos of d omega by 2 minus t, and this is dk by 2 into x. When compared with omega, d omega will be very less, so I can ignore the second term. So simply I can write sin of omega t minus kx here. So when dk is very small when compared with k. Okay, so this is an equation for a progressive wave. This equation 3 represents a wave traveling along x-axis whose amplitude is given by this one. So now I can write this as b sin omega t minus kx. So this is a traveling wave along x-axis with a velocity v phase. So b sin of omega t minus kx is a wave, traveling wave along x-axis with a velocity omega by k, and that velocity is known as phase velocity. Okay, so here I repeat it again. Sin of omega t minus kx, this is a traveling wave moving along x direction with a velocity w by k. So w by k is nothing but phase velocity or wave velocity. Next, look at this term B. So this is B. Here this is B. So B is also a cosordal function. So look at this expression. B is equals to 2a cos of this one. So if you write a velocity, that is d omega by 2 t coefficient divided by x coefficient, that is dk by 2. So 2 get cancelled, you will get d omega by dk. So this velocity is known as group velocity. So group velocity is d omega by dk, whereas phase velocity is omega by k. So what is the point here? When two traveling plane waves moving along one axis, let us say it is an x-axis, they will superimpose with each other in such a way that they will undergo constructive interference over a small region and destructive interference elsewhere. So because of the interference, we will get a wave packet. So wave packet moves with the velocity of group velocity, which is given by Vg is equals to d omega by dk, and individual waves moves with a velocity known as phase velocities, that is given by omega by k. Propagation of wave packet in non-dispersive medium. This is very important, students. Propagation of wave packet in non-dispersive medium. What do you mean by non-dispersive medium? Non-dispersive medium means there is no change in the velocity of light. There is no change in the velocity of wave packet. For example, this is my wave packet. This is, let us say, this is a Gaussian wave packet at a time psi 0. Psi 0 means psi x comma 0, and this wave packet will have shape. This wave packet will have same velocity and same shape at another time, let us say psi of x comma t. There is no change in the frequency, there is no change in the velocity. Such medium is known as non-dispersive medium. Non-dispersive medium. In non-dispersive medium, the frequency is proportional to the wave number. If you remove the proportionality constant, I will write here velocity. So this velocity you can write it as v naught. This velocity can be written as v naught, and the wave packet can be represented with a wave function, and that is psi of x comma t, as we saw earlier. So this is minus infinity to plus infinity, and the amplitude of the wave function is psi of k, and this is e power ikx minus omega t. Generally we write, instead of omega I can write v naught k here. So this is v naught k into t into dk. So here you can write 1 by root 2 pi integration minus infinity to plus infinity, and phi of k is there. Take k common, e power I k. What will you get? X minus v naught t into dk. Now I can write this as the wave function x minus v naught t. So I started with wave function psi of x comma t, and I just replaced w with v naught k. Then I arrived at psi of the wave function psi of x minus v naught t. That means the wave function at initial time, the wave function, let us say this is initial time, x minus v naught t is our initial condition, is same as the wave function at some other time. That means there is no change in the behavior of wave function, and there is no change in the velocity of the wave function. So the form of wave function at time t is identical with the initial form. So that I can say that the frequency is proportional to k. That means it is like simply omega is v naught k. So basically I want to tell you that in non-dispersive medium, omega is proportional to k. There is no change in the velocity, there is no change in the frequency of the wave or wave packet. So you remember this formula, students? Omega is equals to k. So for non-dispersive medium in general, I can write omega is equals to the velocity, that is a phase velocity, or phase velocity simply represented as omega by k. I told you that group velocity is d omega by dk, right? In general, in non-dispersive medium, the wave velocity and group velocity are equal. Vg is equals to v pH. We'll come to that point later. Now moving on to the second case, propagation of wave packet in dispersive medium. Dispersive medium means the frequency is dependent on the wavelengths or wave vectors. So in this case, I can write simply the phase velocity is, so initially for non-dispersive medium, phase velocity is W by K, but in dispersive medium, the angular frequency is dependent on K. Likewise, I can write the group velocity is d omega by dk for non-dispersive medium. For dispersive medium, there is a K dependence. Okay, so these are the two formulas for dispersive medium. So the example for dispersive medium is water waves or surface waves. So these are the example for dispersive medium. Non-dispersive medium, what is an example for non-dispersive medium? I will write here example for non-dispersive medium. A stretched string like this. If a person is standing here and is stretching the string, so the wave will move along this direction. So that velocity of that wave is wave phase velocity. So the phase velocity is along the direction of the wave, and the group velocity is perpendicular to the phase velocity in case of stretched string. So this is for non-dispersive medium. For dispersive medium, water waves or surface waves are the examples. Next, there is another case. Let me call this as case 3. Propagation of wave packet in constant potential. Propagation of wave packet in constant potential. Why we are studying wave packet here? The propagation of wave packet. Wave packet is used to describe a particle. If you want to describe the motion of a particle quantum mechanically, we must study the dynamics of wave packet. We must study the propagation of wave packet. In first case, I will start with the constant potential. So what is the formula for total energy of a particle? The total energy is E, and this is simply kinetic energy E square by 2m plus potential energy V. Here the kinetic energy, the total energy is a function of momentum. So this is the case, and we know that energy is equals to h bar omega, momentum is equals to h bar k. From these two expressions, E by P is nothing but omega by k. So divide this thing, k's will cancel, you will get omega by k, that is phase velocity, and dE by dP is equals to d omega by dk. So this is group velocities. So these are the relations between phase velocity, group velocity with E and P. Now from this expression, let me call this as equation 1. First I will calculate E by P, which is nothing but phase velocity. V phase is equals to simply omega by k or E by P. So from equation 1, what will you get? This is simply P by 2m plus V by em. So this is the expression for phase velocity. Now let us write the group velocity. So group velocity is simply dE, which is a function of momentum P by dP. So what will you get? From the equation 1, we will get P by m, and the second term is constant potential, right? So derivative of constant potential is 0. So you will get like this. So these are the two expressions for the phase and group velocities of a wave packet in a constant potential. So this is P by m, right? Group velocity. The P by m is nothing but the velocity of the particle, the classical particle. P is equals to mv, or V can be written as P by m. So velocity of the particle. So the group velocity of a wave packet in constant potential is equals to the velocity of a classical particle. Next, free particle. Free particle means potential is equals to 0. Now in the earlier case we got the phase velocity Vph is equals to P by 2m plus V by P. So this is phase velocity expression, and group velocity is simply P by m. So these are the expressions for a particle moving in constant potential. Now the potential is 0, V is 0. So what is the phase velocity here? This is P by 2m simply, since V is 0, and there is no change in the group velocity. This is P by m. Therefore I can write V phase is equals to 1 by 2 into P by m is nothing but V group. The phase velocity is half of the group velocity. So we got one question on this free particle. So this question appeared in GATE 1998. Let us have a look on this question. For a free electron gas in a metal, the magnitude of phase velocity Vp and group velocity Vg are such that, just now we derived the expression, right? The phase velocity Vp is equals to P by 2m, and I can write this as Vg. So option 2 is the correct option. Very simple question in GATE exam. Now I want to derive the relation between group velocity and phase velocity. So let's discuss the relation between group and phase velocity. We know that the phase velocity Vph is simply omega by k, or I can write omega is equals to k into phase velocity. So when you differentiate omega with respect to k, I'll get Vph. Use the UV formula for the differentiation. So you will get Vph, and second term k into differentiation of Vph with respect to k. What is d omega by dk? So this is simply group velocity, and group velocity Vg is equals to V phase velocity plus k into into dVph by dk. So this is the first relation. Group velocity is equals to Vph plus k into dPvh by dk. Now the second relation is Vg is equals to Vph. This is second relation I'm talking about. Vg is equals to Vph minus lambda into dVph by dh. Let us try to derive this one also. We know that lambda is equals to 2 pi by k, and d lambda is nothing but minus 2 pi by k square dk. Am I right? Or d lambda by dk is equals to minus 2 pi by k square. So here I want dVph by dk, which can be written in terms of dVph by d lambda into d lambda by dk. That means the numerator and denominator are multiplied by d lambda. So what is d lambda by dk? That is minus 2 pi by k square into the first term is the derivative of phase velocity with d lambda. I want k into dVph by dk, which is equals to, here you will get k into minus 2 pi by k square into dVph by d lambda. So k and square will get cancelled, and this is minus 2 pi by k, and I will write k as 2 pi by lambda, and lambda will go here, and the remaining term is this one. So 2 pi will get cancelled. You will get minus lambda dVph by d lambda. Instead of k into dVph by dk, you can write minus lambda. So instead of this term you just replace with minus lambda into dpvh by d lambda. So this is the second case, second relation. And the third relation is group velocity is equals to phase velocity plus p into dvph by dp. We know that p is equals to h bar k, so that I can write dp is equals to h bar into dk. Write down this dvph by dk in terms of dvph by dp into dp by dk. From this one I can write dp by dk is equals to h bar. So here dvph by dp is equals to h bar, and I want k into dvph by dk is equals to h bar is already there, and h bar k into dvph by dp. H bar k is nothing but momentum, and this is simply p into dvph by dp. So instead of k into dvph by dk, you can write p into dvph by dk. Instead of k into dvph by dk, you can write p into this one. So this is the third relation. So let us solve one problem. The phase velocity and group velocity for a wave will be identical. He is saying that group velocity and phase velocity are equal if phase velocity is independent of wavelength, phase velocity is dependent on wavelength, group velocity is dependent on wavelength, group velocity is dependent on refractiveness of the medium. So I'll write, so see here, so he's talking about the wavelength. So let us write the relation between group velocity and phase velocity in terms of wavelength. So that is minus lambda into dvph by d lambda, right? This is the appropriate equation. The phase velocity and group velocity will be equal if and only if this term becomes 0. If this term becomes dvph by d lambda is equals 0, then only group velocity will be equals to phase velocity. So what is the condition here? Look at the first one. If phase velocity is independent of wavelength. If phase velocity is independent of wavelength means the derivative of phase velocity with respect to wavelength is 0. So if this is 0, then only group velocity will be equals to phase velocity. So the first option is the correct one. Now we'll solve another important problem. So this problem appeared in CSIR June 2019. The wave number k and the angular frequency omega of a wave are related by dispersion relation. Omega square is equals to alpha k plus beta k cube, where alpha beta are constants. The wave number k for which the phase velocity equals to the group velocity is. So what is the given condition here? Given condition is group velocity is equals to the phase velocity for wave number k is equals to. So he has to select the correct answer. Dispersive relation is given. Omega square is equals to alpha k plus beta k cube, and he mentioned that group velocity is equals to phase velocity. So now we have to find what is k value. Let us start with the dispersion relation. This is omega square is equals to alpha k plus beta k cube. So this is the dispersion relation, and he gave the condition that group velocity Vg is equals to phase velocity. Now let me write the expression for group velocity, that is Vph into k into dvph divided by dk. So this is group velocity expression, right? And it is equals to Vph. So on both sides you can cancel Vph. So k into dvph by dk is equals 0, or simply I'll write dvph by dk is equals to 0. Now find the derivative of phase velocity with respect to k here. Phase velocity is omega by k, and here it will become Omega square is this one, and omega is square root of b k cube plus alpha k. Now I want omega by k. So here omega by k will become 1 by k square will go here, alpha by k plus, and this will become beta k. So this is phase velocity. I hope you understood the simplification. The given dispersion relation is this one. From this I wrote omega, and after that I divided omega on both sides. So you will get omega by k is this one. This is the phase velocity. And from the given condition Vg is equals to Vph, we got this one. The derivative of Vph is 0. So find the derivative here. dVph by dk is equals to, so this is like root x. What is the derivative of root x? That is 1 by 2 root x, right? Derivative of root x is 1 by 2 root x. So this is the one thing, and into d by dx. So alpha by k is there, so the derivative of alpha by k is minus alpha by k square plus, and the derivative of beta k is simply beta. So this is the derivative of this is derivative of phase velocity, which is equals to 0, and this is from equation 1. Let me call this is equation 1. Now on the right hand side we have 0, and left hand side this one. From this case, from this one I will write simply alpha by k square is equals to beta, and if you simplify this one you will get k is equals to under root alpha by beta. When k is equals to square root of alpha by beta, then only group velocity will be equals to phase velocity for this dispersive relation. Option B is the correct answer. Option B is the right answer. When k is equals to under root alpha by b, then only phase velocity is equals to group velocity. So if the phase velocity is equals to group velocity, that means the given medium is a non-dispersive medium. That means that this dispersion relation holds good for a stretched string. So this is CSIR June 2019 question. And there is one more important question that appeared in GATE 1998. So the dispersion relation for certain wave is this one, where omega is as usual angular frequency, k is a wave vector, c is the light of velocity, and m is a constant. The group velocity v of the wave have the following properties. So the write down the dispersive relation. Omega is equals to square root of c square k square plus m square. So this is the given dispersion relation. So omega square is c square k square plus m square. So differentiate on both sides. It will become 2 omega. D omega is equals to 2k c square and dk plus this is 0 since m is a constant. Now I'll write 2 to get cancelled. I'll write d omega by dk is equals to k c square by omega. I can also write as c square by omega by k. You know d omega by dk is what? This is nothing but group velocity is equals to c square by omega by k. Here omega by k is phase velocity. Okay, so let us look for the conditions. So this is group velocity Vg, but according to the given notation, the group velocity is V here. The group velocity is represented with V here. V is equals to c square by omega by k. Now I'll start with the case when k tends to 0. K is 0, omega by k. Omega by 0 is infinite. C square by infinity is 0. What happens here? V tends to infinite. If k is infinite, omega by infinity is 0, c square by 0, you will get infinite. When k is equals to 0, omega by 0 is infinite, c square by infinity is 0. Here the group velocity becomes 0. In the another case, when k tends to infinite, the group velocity becomes infinite. So look for the options here, students. K tends to 0, V tends to 0. K tends to infinite, V tends to infinite. So option C is the right option. And this is another important problem, and I have taken this problem from quantum mechanics by Zetley. So this is the reference book you can use for numericals. The angular frequency of the surface waves in a liquid is given by the dispersion relation. This one, the surface waves I'm talking about. Surface waves are water waves. So this is a dispersive medium. In this case, the group velocity is not equals to the phase velocity. So you have given a dispersive relation and you have to find phase and group velocities for the limiting cases when the surfaces have large wavelengths and small wavelengths. So when wavelength is large and when the wavelength is less. For the two cases, you have to calculate the group and phase velocities. Okay, let us start with the dispersion relation. Omega is equals to this one with under root. So this is the dispersion relation. Now I'll find out phase velocity. So this is like g by k plus tk by rho. T is surface tension, rho is density of the liquid. So these are the liquid properties. T and rho are the liquid properties. So you now you calculated phase velocity as under root g by k and like this. And I want to write this phase velocity Vph in terms of wavelength. This is g by k, that is 2 pi by lambda. 2 pi by here and lambda will go to the numerator. And similarly this is 2 pi t by lambda rho. So this is the expression for phase velocity of the given surface waves. Now we look for the first case. Option A, lambda is very large. So when wavelength is large, the second term is negligible, it's almost zero. Therefore, I can write the phase velocity Vph is equals to root g lambda by 2 pi. So this can be written as under root g by k. So here the phase velocity is independent of the nature of liquid. See, phase velocity is square root of g by k. There is no t and rho dependence. The phase velocity is independent of the nature of the liquid. This case corresponds to deep water waves called gravity waves. These waves having this property, phase velocity is square root of g by k, are known as gravity waves or deep water waves. When lambda is very large, we will get this one. And you know how to calculate V group velocity. So use any one of the relation, like Vg is equals to Vph into k into dVph by dk. You will get the group velocity. So this is a simple exercise for you students. You will try to calculate this one and you will get the answer is Vph by 2, and that is 1 by 2. What is the phase value? G lambda by 2 pi. So this is the case for group velocity, and this is the case for, this is the expression for group velocity and phase velocity. So group velocity is half of the phase velocity. The second case, when lambda is very small. So what is the expression for phase velocity? When lambda is very small, what happens to the phase velocity and group velocity? We obtain the expression phase velocity like this. When lambda is very small, this second term plays an important role. This is dominant term and we can ignore the first term. So I can write here the phase velocity as 2 pi t by lambda rho. So in second case, when lambda is small, the phase velocity is dependent on the nature of liquid. It depends upon the surface tension T and it depends upon the density of the liquid. Whereas when lambda is very large, the phase velocity is independent of the nature of the liquid. So this is phase velocity. You can calculate the group velocity by using the formula phase velocity plus, you can use k into d, derivative of phase velocity with respect to dk, or you can also use another formula, that is vph minus lambda into dvph by d lambda. Any one formula you can use, so you will get group velocity is 3 by 2 vph. So this is a simple exercise for you students. You can do this one. Since you have vph value like this, you just find out the derivative of vph and substitute in the expression. You will get this expression 3 by 2 vph. So what is the final conclusion here? When lambda is very small, so this is equals to 3 vph by 2. So vg is equals to 3 by 2 vph. I'll write in another way, that is 3 by 2 under root 2 pi t lambda rho. So hence smaller is the wavelength, group velocity is large. So for small wavelengths, group velocity is large. These are called ripple waves. The water waves which has very small wavelength will produce ripple waves. When lambda is very large, we will get deep water waves. When the lambda is very less, we will get ripple waves. This is the example for a dispersive medium where group velocity is not equal to phase velocity. Next, moving on to another problem that appeared in GATE 2003. Given a wave with a dispersion relation omega is ck plus m greater than 0, k greater than 0, which one of the following is true? The group velocity is greater than the phase velocity. The group velocity is less than the phase velocity. Group and phase velocity are equal. There is no definite relation between group velocity and phase velocity. We'll start with the given dispersion relation, that is omega is equals to ck plus m. First write down the phase velocity omega by k. This is my phase velocity. Omega by k is simply c plus m by k. This is one expression. Group velocity is phase velocity plus k into d derivative of phase velocity. Or you simply can write d omega by dk also. You can also write. Let me write here omega group velocity is simply d omega by dk. You can write. So the derivative here will get d omega by dk is simply c. Group velocity is equals to c, whereas phase velocity is c plus m by k. From this I can say phase velocity is greater than group velocity. Am I right? Phase velocity is equals to light velocity plus m by k. Whatever be the m and k are non-zero values. So that means phase velocity is always greater than c, whereas group velocity equals to c. Therefore, I can write phase velocity is greater than vg, or vg is less than, in other words, vg is less than vph. The group velocity is less than the phase velocity. So this is a simple problem which appeared in GATE 2003. Okay, there is another problem. This is also very simple problem. You can try it on your own. The angular frequency of water waves varies as inverse square root of wavelength, that is omega of lambda is equals to 1 by root lambda. Which of the following relation exists between group and phase velocities? It's simple. You can write omega lambda is equals to 1 by root lambda, and you can easily calculate the group and phase velocities here. So this is omega is proportional to root lambda, or it is proportional to square root of lambda is 2 pi by k, so k by 2 pi under root 2 pi. You can calculate omega by k simply here. Remove the proportionality, assume that the proportional constant is a, and I'll write this as under root, go k square. So what will you get? 2 pi by 1 by 2 pi k. So this is my phase velocity, and you can also calculate group velocity. So how to calculate the group velocity? Vg is equals to d omega by dk. So remove the constant term here, that is 1 by root 2 pi is the constant, and we are calculating the derivative of 1 by root k. So if you simplify this one, you will get the condition that Vg is equals to Vph by 2, or V phase velocity is equals to 2 times of V group velocity. So option A is the correct option. This is another simple problem. The dispersion relation for certain type of exciton is given by omega into omega is equals to A into k power A. For these excitons, the group velocity is less than the phase velocity. So first write down the phase dispersion relation. This is the dispersion relation. Calculate the phase velocity omega by k. This is simply k into a power minus 1. This is phase velocity. And now find out the group velocity, that is d omega by dk, a into small a into k power a minus 1. So he's saying that the group velocity is less than the phase velocity. So we need to compare what is the group velocity and phase velocity, right? So I can write the group velocity as v phase velocity plus k into d phase velocity by dk. From this expression, v phase is equals to a into k power minus 1, v group is equals to a into k power n minus 1. So look at the expressions here. Capital A into k power a minus 1, a into k a power minus 1. So phase velocity and group velocity are equal if small a is equals to 1. If small a is equals to 1, then group and phase velocity are equal. If small a is equals to 1, group velocity phase velocity are equal. He is saying that the group velocity is less than the phase velocity when. So this is group velocity and this is phase velocity. If A is less than 1, then we can get group velocity less than phase velocity. So which one is the correct option? Option C is the correct option. When A is less than 1, then group velocity will be less than the phase velocity. And this is another problem which appeared in JNU 2019 exam, PhD entrance exam. Two waves superimposed to produce a resultant wave represented by a sin omega t minus kx plus a sin omega prime t minus k prime x with k greater than k prime, omega greater than omega prime, where k and omega are wave vector frequency respectively. What will be their phase velocity and how it is related with the group velocity? Phase velocity is v and group velocity is u. So no need to do any calculation here. You can easily find out the correct option. Phase velocity is v and group velocity is u. So see here, he is given one of the relation, right? Relation between group and phase velocities. So group velocity is represented with u, which is related with the phase velocity v, like this: k into the phase velocity divided by dk. So this is the correct option. Out of the four options, look for this one, group velocity. So this is in our notation, this is Vg and this is Vph plus k into dVph by dk. Which one is the correct option? And this one is the right option. Okay students, I hope you enjoyed the session, and that's it for today. And the next section, next class, we'll start with another new topic, and the topic will be from advanced quantum mechanics. Thank you for watching this video.